Which tools work best for a hybrid project? When do you select a tool? What are the requirements you need to look for? What's the right tool for your project? What are the latest trends in tools to manage hybrid projects? This video, I will show you all of this and much more. Stay with me. Hello and welcome back to my series about hybrid project management. My name is Rogério Manso and I'm here to demystify hybrid project management to you. And if you've been following me, you know that I'm sharing some videos I'm starting some weeks ago about sharing some information about hybrid project management, the history of project management, how to understand agile and traditional approach, how to what's hybrid project management, and how to create a WBS. This is the 60 video about hybrid project management, and I'm going to talk about a very important subject today. If you've been following me, you know that I need your subscription. I need your likes and comments to improve my video. So I'm not a marketing guy, so I know that if you subscribe to my channel, if you give me a like or thumbs up, if you make any comments, if you share my video, this will allow me to pop up my video to other people that are also interested in learning about hybrid project management. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic. Actually, I took some time to make sure that this is something that I need to talk about, because it's not something that I like to discuss much in detail. I'm talking about project management tools and hybrid project management tools. I receive a lot of questions. Rogério, what is the best tool to manage a project? What are the tools that you are working to manage your projects? How to select a good tool to manage a project? What are the requirements that we need to pay attention when selecting a tool? And this is very, very complicated to provide a single answer. Tools are crucial to help you to manage a project, and the choices that we have in the market are very, very large. So we need to understand first what we need that these tools help us on our work. And there are different kinds of tools. When we talk about project management, we have communication tools, we have workflow tools, we have project management tools. We have different tools that were made to answer specific goals, to answer specific problems in project management. It's impossible to use just one tool for everything. And this is something that I like to show you today. And before we start, I like to make something very, very clear. I'm not promoting any specific tool. I'm not telling you to use any specific tool. What I'm gonna do is to give you some vision in terms of what you need to think about when you select a tool, what you need to pay attention when you select a tool, and how can you use tools to help you in your activities. A tool is not something that works for all projects. Maybe a tool that you select for one project will not work for another project. And this is the goal of this video, is to provide you some ideas, some insights, some experience that I have in my career, more than 20 years, by the way, on how to use tools to help you in your job. So this is the most important point. So I'm not getting any money to talk about any tool. And by the way, I choose some tools in this video, but of course there are many others in the market that maybe you use and you are totally happy about this tool. Maybe I don't know about this tool. So these tools that I'm gonna show you in this video was based on my experience and some feedbacks from some friends, but this is not a restriction about the tools that you can find in the job market. The point here is that I'm gonna try to help you to identify the best tool in your project, how to select a tool, what are the requirements that you need to evaluate when selecting a tool. And this is the goal of this video. If you have any comment, send me a comment here in my video. Let your comment, let your experience. If you have any tool that you like to share your experience, feel free to put this in my comments below, and I'll be very happy to know and to see how can I share this tool with other friends in project management. So let's get started with some statistics that I like to show you the impact of choosing the right or the wrong tool in project management. I'd like to start to ask you, did you know that 32% of the executive leaders say that selecting the right technology is one of the top 3 factors in future success? So even the high management, they are aware that selecting the right tools, the right technologies, the right environments to work, it's a biggest factor for project success. Also, there are 58% of project managers that work remotely, and only 14 work on the business office. After the pandemic period, we saw this change in terms of how people like to work. Most of professionals today prefer to work in a hybrid way, which means they're gonna work some days in the office, some days at house. What this means? This means that you need to adapt some communications tools, some documentation tools, and even the way you manage project and you talk with your team and you work with your team. So working in a hybrid way, it's a new challenge today to many professionals. And also we have 75% of project professionals that believe that the use of collaboration tools will increase in the future. Why? Because of exactly this situation to work on a hybrid way. And we need to now to use some tools, some digital tools or electronic tools to increase the collaboration of the team members. Before, when everyone was in the office, maybe we set a meeting, we go to the room and we discuss about the project. Now we need to see the availability of this person, set a meeting. We're gonna use some technology like video conference and the document management, electronic document management, that will help us to collaborate with the team members. And this is very important. So some tools today got more importance after the pandemic because we changed the way we work on these days. And let me show you another statistics, very interesting, that I found, that the time that in general people spend on compiling project status information. As a project manager, you must provide the status report in in a frequent base. And this shows that 25% of the people that was interviewed takes more than 2 days to compile the project data to create a project status. And 17 takes 1 to 2 days. And if we think about people that takes more than 4 hours, we are talking about almost about 70% of the resources takes more than 4 hours to compile the project, the data for the create a project status. This is a huge period of time. So you cannot spend 4 hours to 1 day or even more than 2 days to know what are the data for your project, how it's going your project in terms of the status. So that's why you need to find and to adopt some tools that will provide instantly information about the status of your project. Of course, you're gonna see in this video, there are a lot of constraints when we adopt the tools, because it's not the point to have this tool installed and working in our environment that will make you, will make magic in your system that we're gonna provide you all information at the same time. You need to think about how you're gonna input the information on the system, how accurate are these information in your system, and many other factors. We're gonna discuss this more in detail in the next slides. Before we start talking about tools, I like to show you some trends in terms of software trends that I saw in these days that we need to think about how we're gonna adapt to these trends. The first, and I would say the most important, is the expansion of artificial intelligence and automation. We are seeing a lot of people talking about the using of artificial intelligence, AI, in some tools, and even some people are saying that these will replace some jobs. I agree, and at the same time, I disagree with these statement, this information. I think that artificial intelligence will not replace some jobs. They will make you change the way you're gonna work on in your function. Artificial intelligence comes to help us, to support us, to make us more productive, but not to replace. So I don't think that artificial intelligence will replace some jobs, but if we don't adapt, if we don't learn about how to work with artificial intelligence, then you are in a risk to be replaced. So we have here a statistic that 50% of the organizations already have in place a digital transformation strategy that incorporates artificial intelligence. So this is a number that the trend tends to increase in the next years. Another important trend is the emergence of formal and informal project managers. And this have something directly related to hybrid management. Before, when we work in a traditional way, you have the image of the project manager very clear. He was responsible to manage all the project team and deliver the project. And then we come to Agile. In Agile, we lose a little bit this role of project manager. In Agile, we try to promote the self-organization, the self-management for the whole team. But now we see that organizations are still need to have someone managing the project, at the same time working in an agile approach, which means that we start mixing some roles in project management where we don't know if a Scrum Master is a project manager, if your product owner is a project manager, if your project manager can work as a Scrum Master or a product owner, if an architect could be a project manager. So it's not clear today, based on the hybrid environment that we are experiencing today to work, what is the role of a project manager. And that makes some persons acting as a project managers, even if they don't have this role, this formal position as a project manager. And in the other way, we see project managers working in different situations as a Scrum Masters, a product owners, or even a project team that maybe we will have some confusion in terms of what is the real responsibility of project managers. And another point is, I talked about the hybrid work. So we're gonna see in the future more and more people adopting a hybrid work environment. So people working at home and at office during the week. This makes us think about the importance to have good communication tools, good collaboration tools, good documentation tools, and this is some trends that we're gonna have. And also important, when we are in our working office, we have an infrastructure on site. But when you go to your house, your home, maybe you cannot or don't have the same infrastructure. For example, I saw a lot of people working from home where the internet connection, the internet speed is not enough to do a video conference. And this is a problem. When you work at home, you need to have almost the same environment that you have in the office. So the internet connection, the computer, the infrastructure should be also available in your house. And this is a problem where we need to think about what is the best tool that you're gonna use. So people working at home, where sometimes the environment, the technological environment is not the same that you have in your office. And close connection between project and change management. Now we are seeing more and more that projects are not something that we have upfront planning that we're gonna deliver at the end. We need to think in a project management always in a change management process. We need to change all the time some points in our project: the scope, the timeline, the resources, the cost. And this change management, to monitor these changes, to manage these changes in terms of the project management, it's being a challenge today. Most of the time, we lose control over our changes. We don't know how to monitor the change. We don't know how to plan the change. We don't know how to document the change. And most important, we don't know why you make this change. What's the reason we make this change? And this is something very important today, that finding a good tool could help you to have a good change management approach in your projects. Let me finish you with this information. According to the Gartner, 80% of today's project management tasks will be eliminated by 2013 in some years as artificial intelligence takes over. What does this mean for you? I'm not saying that as a project manager, your responsibility will be eliminated or your activities will be eliminated. I'm saying that 80% of today's project management tasks will be eliminated, which means that maybe you're gonna be assigned or be responsible to different tasks and different responsibilities that are not even created. The perception, the responsibility, the engagement, the expectations from a project management will change in the next years because of artificial intelligence. And this is something that will have a huge impact in your career. You need to think about this because artificial intelligence is something that it's real, it's there. So you need to adapt. You need to make sure that you can work and use this tool in your benefit, in your way to support your job, in the way to improve your capacity to deliver your projects. All right, how to choose the ideal project management software? Good questions. When ask people what they think, what is the answer, how to choose ideal project management software, I get many different answers. And the first thing I think about is, what's the best tool for you? Imagine that you have different tools and you're gonna do something, but you have a hammer, you have different tools, and what's the best tool? Well, the answer is depend on what you're gonna do. A hammer has a specific objective to be used. A wrench has a specific objective to be used. And depending on what you're gonna do, you need to choose a right tool. And let's assume that you're gonna use a wrench. Even if you know that you need a wrench, sometimes you have different types of wrenches. You can have a fixed wrench where you use manually, and you have wrenches that have automatic control. So the point is, even if you know why you need a tool, some tools have different functionalities, different requirements, different ways to use that will allow you to choose the best tool. So the best tool not always means that you define for what you need this tool, but also how you're gonna use and how these tools are adaptable to your environment, to your team. So let me give you some ideas in terms of what you need to think about when you choose an ideal project management tool. Okay, the first point is you need to identify some core issues. Why you need a tool, what problem you're gonna try to solve with this tool. So you need to identify problems that you have and make them as specific as possible. The idea is to identify if this tool will really help you to address this problem. The second point is what is your workflow compatibility. You need to map, to draw, to define your day-to-day workflow, what you're gonna do, what is your process, to see if your tool, the platform that you're gonna be hosted this tool, could be configured and accommodated. This platform you choose should an extent be able to adjust, but your process will not change. So here it's, do you have enough infrastructure or platform to host this tool? Another point, technical specifications. So you need to figure out what the software needs to be installed. What's the requirement to install this software? What are the hardware specifications that you need to run this software? So this is very important to make sure that you have enough, a right platform to host this tool. Integration capabilities. When you find a tool, you need to think about other systems that you have in your company, in your organization. Is this tool able to integrate with the other softwares, the other platforms that you have? So it's important to think about the integration, because most of the time you're going to exchange information between these tools. Budget consideration. Of course, we are talking about the cost of this tool. How much are you willing to pay to have this tool? But it's not only to buy this tool. You need to think about the training. You need to think about the support of these tools, okay? And the upgrades. So it's not only a question to have this tool in your organization. You need to think in other points that it's important to keep your tool updated. What I used to do is I like to talk to people to pay attention on the moment when you're gonna see the demo of this software. It's very important that when you work to find a tool, that you see how this software works and to see if they really answer your needs. First, you need to think in terms of the workflow. It's this software aligned with the workflow that you are using in your process. So this needs some adjustments in your process or in the software. So you need to think how difficult, how complex is this? Easy to use. We are always looking to softwares that it's easy to use, that have a user-friendly integration or user-friendly communication. So it's important that this software have an intuitive design and a straightforward usability when it's installed in your organization. Customization. Can I customize this software, this solution to my needs, to my specific problems? Integrations. We also said we need to see if this tool is able to be integrated with the other systems that we have, and the cost effectiveness. Again, it's not only the price that you're gonna pay for this software, but you need also to think about how you're gonna keep this software working in your organization. What is the support the company will provide? How frequent they will upgrade this software? How much this will cost? How they can help you on learning and improving your capacity to work with this software. So the software demo, it's your chance to ask any questions to the provider to see the tool in action. So you need to make most of it. So try to always make the software demo your chance to ask questions and see the tool in action. Let's see some planning tools that I think that it's important when we talk about project management. We always think about how they can find some planning tools. There are some features that we need to look in project management tools. First is to use. We don't look any tool that it's complicated, it's complex, and it's not easy to use. Task management. Can I easily create a task? Can easily assign this task? Can I track tasks in my solution? Do I have a timeline or a Gantt chart to tracking project reschedules? Can I have any other type of graphs to monitor the schedule? Resource allocation. Do I have ability to assign or track resources in a task? Can I assign budgets? Can I assign assets, materials in a task? Collaboration. Does these tool offers features like commenting, tagging, documenting? So what are the features that could improve the collaboration with the project team? Scalability. Maybe you're going to start working with small projects, and then you're going to expand or scale these to big projects. Can this software support to use on big projects? Customizability. So how capable is this software to customize workflows, fields, views, reports? So how easy is to create or to format the information that I need? Integration. Can I integrate this software with other tools that I use it in my organization? Reporting, very important. How can I create a report? What flexibility I have to create a report? How accurate is this reported in terms of the consolidating data? And of course, the cost. How much will cost to keep this tool in my organization? I have here, I created a tool comparison table with some tools that I think you can use to planning in project management. I put here MS Project, Smartsheet, Monday.com, Rike, and Zoho projects. All these tools works almost in the same way. They have different interfaces, they have different functionalities, and of course, they are better accepted by different teams. I worked already with MS Project, Monday, and Zoho projects, and I would say all these three tools are very, very good. Ones have more. I worked with MS Project for a long time, and I have more experience working with MS Project. But I know that today we have different tools that replace MS Project in a very good way. The problem with MS Project is the cost. Among these tools, MS Project is the most expensive. But the good side to use MS Project is that you have a lot of people that knows about MS Project, that they are really efficient in using MS Project. But if you know how to work with MS Project, you'll be able to work with any other of these tools. And one tool that really surprised me is Zoho Projects. Not because only because it's a good tool, but because Zoho it's it's a company that have a lot of other softwares that allow the integration and they communicate each other. So the whole Zoho platform, if you go to zoho.com, you can see there's a lot of solutions, a lot of tools that do different things, and the Zoho projects, you can use the information to share the data, the information with other tools. And another tool that I'm seeing these days very common, very popular, it's Monday.com. And Monday.com, it's a very good platform, very good tool in terms of collaboration, in terms of the integration. And I also recommend Monday.com. Rike, I don't have much knowledge, much expertise. I tested in my computer just a free version. In Smartsheet also I tested, but I don't have much information. But I know that based on some friends that also use these tools, they are good tools, and it's some good candidates if you are looking for any planning tool. Communication tools. So we also need to think about some features that are important when we select a communication tools. First, real-time messaging. As I said, if we are working in a hybrid way where people are at home, others are in the office, or even people are working remotely, you need to really have this real-time messaging functionality enabled on any communication tools. Video conference, very common today, where people use more and more video conference to make meetings and talk each other. File sharing. File sharing is also very important, but I would say that file sharing is more related to documentation tools. But if you are looking for a tool that you're going to communicate with each other, maybe you need that these tools also allow you to share files or documents in a chat interface or in a video conference. Task integration, so you can create tasks and to-dos within a conversation. Usually these communication tools are integrated with your electronic email, where you created this task and this task will be in your agenda. Notification settings, you can customize alerts and notifications in this tool. User roles and permissions. It's very important that you have control access in terms of who can access this platform. Searchable history. You need to find some information in the past conversations. So it's important that you can find this in an easy way. Multi-platform support. It's also important that the communication tools, especially today's, works on desktop, mobile, tablet, web. So it doesn't matter which platform you're going to use, you can communicate where you are, you can use the same platform. Security, we are talking about data encryption, information access security, compliance with some privacy standards. So it's very important when you use a communication tool and you're going to share documentation, you're going to share information, that the security in terms of access and the exchanging data, it's very well managed. And for sure, the cost. As in any other tool, you need to think about the cost of this tool. So I also create another table to show you some tools that are very popular today in project management that are used to communication. I particularly like Teams. Okay, I think Teams is one of the most common and very easy to use. Very easy to do meetings, to share information, to share files, to monitor activities. So it's multi-platform, so you can use Teams in your iPhone, your desktop, or web. So it's a very interesting software. Also, I like Zoom, but Zoom, I would say that is more for video conference, for meetings. I know that there's a lot of add-ons on Zoom that you can create webinars, you can create meetings, and you can share documentation, but it's not very good in terms of the task integration. Miro, it's another tool that it's really interesting if you like to have a platform to collaborate in terms of the information. So the cost, it's very accessible. It's not expensive. You have even a free version for Miro. It's not a tool to really have a video conferencing. So if you choose Miro, maybe you're gonna use Zoom to combine these two tools to help you have better functionality on all these features. And Slack, it's something that works very similar to Teams. The point is, I don't see, at least here in Canada, many organizations adopting Slack. but I did test Slack and works very similar to Teams, and very the interface and everything, the resources, the features are very similar to Teams. So I recommend you to think about Teams and Slack if you want just one tool. If you want to use Miro to share information to collaborative way, you can maybe include Zoom in your list. Workflow management tools. This is another type of tools that is very, very important when we talk about project management. And when we talk about workflow management tools, there are some features like task management. We need to be able to create, to assign, and to track tasks easily. Also, it's important that you can have in this workflow a Kanban board, a way to work in a Kanban process to monitor and to have a visual board in terms of the project workflow. Gantt charts. Also, we can adopt in a traditional way some Gantt charts to reflect the timeline and the scheduling of some milestones and deadlines of your project. User permission, security. Are we able to assign different roles and permissions for team members? Notifications. Can I customize some alerts, task updates, deadlines to my project team? Integration with other softwares and tools. Reports and analytics. So it's important that when we work in a workflow that we can configure the report and the information that we need to share. File sharing collaboration, the same feature that we have in communication. So we need to have something that facilitates sharing documents and files with other resources. Mobile accessibility, not only mobile, but any platform that you're gonna use, could be desktop, mobile, web, tablets, or any other platform that you're gonna use, and scalability to be able to work with different sizes of projects. And here's the table of some tools that you can think about when working for a workflow tool. Asana, Trello, Jira, ClickUp. And there's many other tools in the market that you can use, but I would say that these are one of the most common and popular tools that we have, especially Trello and Jira, for those that are working with agile projects. And I personally like Jira. I think Jira is a more complex and more complete solution. Asana is a good surprise for me. I started working with Asana some time ago. I did some tests and I really enjoyed working with Asana. Very easy, very user-friendly in terms of functionalities. And I strongly recommend you to think about Asana. The cost is very low based on the others. Jira also, you can have some free version that you can use for small projects. ClickUp, the same thing. It's in general, ClickUp works also with the same functionalities that you have with Asana. And Trello, it's really something that I like when you go to adopt a Kanban or something in Agile. It's very. I would say that I use Trello for my personal needs. I use Trello to monitor, to control my activities. I put some post-its in terms of the to-do and doing activities. And I like Trello. It's very easy to work. You can create different boards. You can create different activities and different sections, workflow in your process. The reports are not so good. So they are not really made to provide you reports, but as a visual tool, okay, the idea is that looking to the flow, you can see the stats of your project. So Trello, it's something interesting, but if you are really working in an organization and looking for something more complex and specific to manage any type of project, I recommend to use Jira. Okay, having said that, I like to finish this video with some key takeaways that you need to keep in mind when you select a tool. First, you need to understand that when you work in a project management, in hybrid project management, tool, it's very important to support you, to help you to have a good control of your activities, your data, your documentation, and to improve your productivity, okay? You need to think about the culture and the software synergy when you select a tool. Some tools will be easily accepted by your team, and some tools will not be accepted by your team. So a tool is only as good as the organizational culture accept this tool. And selecting a tool, select a tool that is aligned with your culture, organizational culture, your values. So these will facilitate the adoption of a tool. You need to think about trends and impacting on tool selection. As I said in the beginning of this video, AI, it's coming forever to stay, and maybe you're gonna find in the next days all these tools with some AI integration or AI functionality, and you need to think how this new functionality will help you in your job. Customization and flexibility, very important point to think when selecting a tool. How easy is to customize, to make this tool flexible to my needs, to my environment, to my team members. It's very important that a tool allow you to adapt the software, the tool, to your environment, to your team. Immediate value with expert tips. If you can, if the provider of this tool can, ask them to give you some training, ask them to give some expertise tips, a demo. Maybe you can have an initial version to install and to pass for a period of tests to make sure that this tool really works for you. And keep your team always trained. Training is key. Even if you are a master in a specific tool, you always have something to learn in using this tool. And that's it. I like to thank you for staying with me in this video. I hope you liked some tips that I give about the tools. And again, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned, because next week I'm gonna release a video about KPIs. How can you work with KPIs? What are the best KPIs for your project? How to select, how to customize, how to adopt a KPI. So this will really help you to get the success of your project. If you liked this video, make a comment, give me a thumbs up, and try to share your comments about the tool that you're gonna use, and stay tuned for next videos about hybrid project management. And have good projects.